global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. And we're looking at what is happening with the suspended EFCC boss, Ibrahim Magu, who is currently facing a presidential probe panel in respect of some allegations against him. A lot has been happening, and fairly recently we've been informed that he wanted to embark on hunger strike. He has a running nose where they invited experts to look at him, and another issue is that they have withdrawn all the cars that were in his disposal. It has been withdrawn from him, and also security officials who were around him had also been withdrawn. And guess what? The family member, a source in the family who asked not to be named, confirmed the withdrawal of police officers from his two houses, one in Maitama and the other one. And according to him, he said that we are seriously concerned about the personal security of Mr. Magu and his family. They have literally been thrown to the hyenas, knowing fully well the dangers. That's what one of the sources had to say. You know that being that he was EFCC boss, there are a lot of people who will possibly be on their trail, just like hyenas. They like to trail people, and that's what we're talking about. But guess what? That's not really the main issue. We are looking at a new allegation that just popped up, and that one has to do with his link, that he's expected to explain his link with a Bereau de change over 336 billion naira, $435 million, and 14 million euros. And apart from that, we are going to also talk about what politicians are actually saying about the trial of Ibrahim Magu. All right, let's start moving. Now, the presidential panel investigating corruption allegation against the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has started probing the relationship between Magu and a Bereau de change based in Kaduna. Sources close to the panel disclosed that the embattled EFCC boss, who was suspended by the President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday, is expected to respond to the discovery by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, that he allegedly had connection with the said Bereau de change. Magu is also expected to explain what he knew about humongous sum of money discovered by Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit from a relatively unknown Lagos-based pastor who was said to be his associate. Besides, the NFIU was said to have also discovered about 28 million naira taken from the same Bereau de change by a well-known lawyer based in Lagos. The source said, and I quote, it said, from the issues before the committee, there are two big issues concerning Bereau de change being allegedly linked to Magu in Kaduna, and that Bereau de change has been discovered by the NFIU to have transacted business in the region of 336 billion naira, $435 million, and about 14 million euros. There was another allegation against Magu that the relatively unknown pastor in Lagos who was linked with Magu was discovered to have 573 million naira in his account. Also, there was a famous lawyer in Lagos who took 28 million naira from the Bereau de change. Meanwhile, some unknown person allegedly broke into the new office of the NFIU and destroyed computers containing certain vital and sensitive documents that could help in the investigation of the former EFCC boss. Some officials of the NFIU were said to have appeared before the Justice Ayos Salami panel investigating Magu on Thursday to clarify certain gray areas, especially as relating to some accounts suspected to have been used to move money. The NFIU official, it was gathered, told the panel that by their operational protocol and procedure, they didn't go about with such documents. They advised members of the panel to visit their office on Friday morning to cite the document requested for. However, it was alleged that before the panel members got to NFIU office Friday morning, some unknown people had broken into their office, went straight to the room where the documents were stored in the computer, and destroyed them all. Recall that the NFIU was the agency that investigated all the allegations of financial malfeasance against Magu, in addition to the fact that the agency was only recently severed from EFCC. Magu appeared at the panel for the fifth day about 10 a.m. Sources at the venue, the old banquet hall, had told us that the embattled anti-corruption SAR has developed running nose on Thursday, which prompted the invitation of some medical expert to attend to him. Magu and the panel member, it was gathered, left the venue about 7 p.m. Wow. And let's just also look at some of the things that politicians have said about him, because, all of these things we're talking about revolves around politicians. There are some politicians who understand what is currently going on. I'm going to give you one or two or three of what most of them said. For example, someone like Shehu Sani had said that Magu ran EFCC like a cult. According to him, he said that the insider cults is the dark and immoral aspect of the agency, engaged in prosecution, blackmail, frame-up, and cruelty. The call has been the wheel behind the ordeal of their embattled boss until they are rooted out from the agency. Two, I believe a lot of revelation will keep coming from other marginalized and honest officers in the so-called anti-corruption agency. That's what the former senator in Kaduna had to say. That's Shehu Sani. Another person, a politician who talked about this issue, made mention of the fact that the EFCC laws must be amended. And according to the former presidential candidate and elder statesman, Chief Chikwas Okore, he had also spoken about this issue of Magu. According to him, he said, my strong suggestion is that it is time to look at the laws establishing EFCC itself so that they can be more independent and report directly to the president. Being such an important anti-corruption agency, it shouldn't be exposed further to third party. So I suggest that act be looked at again. Everybody knows that Mr. President has given Magu all the support to achieve what he is now being credited with. But I think where the problem has been is the third party. The Office of the Attorney General also created this type of problem. It has also been the issue of Attorney General coming into the affairs of the EFCC. That problem set in. Well, for me, I don't think this man is saying anything reasonable. Because the truth of the matter, who brought up all this allegation? Is it not Malami? That's the Attorney General of the Federation. He brought it up. Whether you are reporting to the president or whoever, just like presidential aides had rightly said, no one should be above scrutiny at one time or the other. You should be probed so that they know at least that your integrity can be, can be guaranteed. Another person who talked again, who is also a politician, made Nigerians to know that Magu was used as a stooge by cabal, and that was coming from Dr. Tanko, who is a former national chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, IPAC. And that's Dr. Yenusa Tanko. He had said that the cabal is in the polity and had used and dumped Magu. Now, according to his word, he said, honestly, there are issues that have been raised for quite a long time now that Magu has not been able to reconcile what he collected and what is in the media. Therefore, those who have already made him and defended him are those that have found him not useful again. So they discarded him. He said, we can't continue to use and dump people when we don't need them anymore. That's what he had to say. Then lastly, it was PDP who said some very strong words to the president. And according to them, they said that the development has also exposed why corruption has worsened under Buhari's administration, as documented by a credible international organization, including Transparency International. It is a big embarrassment to our nation that the head of the anti-corruption agency in an administration led by African Union anti-corruption champion and which pride itself on zero tolerance for corruption is being dragged in allegation of looting recovered funds and other barefaced fraud. That was what PDP had to say. So just looking at it, you realize that things are not really moving right. There are a lot of things, and one of the things that bother my heart, talking about use and dumb, a lot of people are talking that he has been used and dumb. I don't think that is the case of use and dumb, if you ask me, though that may be the whole reason why he was appointed. But guess what? If you did not spoil your hand, that's if you did not dent your image by collecting monies and all of that, all of this wouldn't have happened. Imagine what they did say about this Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. They brought up more discovery about him, and though it's still alleged, it has not been confirmed, and the report was that some persons on Friday, when the presidential probe panel were supposed to go and see some of the documents which they had already to use in the investigation. By the time they got in their office, they had destroyed the room where all those things were stored. But for me, I believe that's not any reasonable excuse. I believe especially a place like that should have enough security protecting it, and also some of those key documents that it's very vital would have been put in a safe that cannot be broken and locked. So that in an event of invasion like that, all what they will do is the computer, you still have those things in the storage device. So for me, though they say it's alleged, for me, it's not really, really interesting. Hearing those kind of things clearly shows that the unit is not doing what they're supposed to do. And most people had also spoken. Let's just look at one or two comments from Nigerians. This one said, I would have loved to see the look on his face before they risk him away. That dude didn't see it coming, but still on now your turn today. We are waiting for the next person on the list. And another person here says, there is no difference between EFCC and the police. Why would the government continue to waste resources funding them? Why can't they upgrade the special fraud unit of the police rather than spend on these EFCC boys? They can't solve simple cases. Their only achievement are to display Yahoo boys as their achievement. I can bet no investigation was carried out. The kids will start crying and spilling as soon as they are arrested. They call that investigation. We need a complete overhaul in this country. And this one said, the woes of a nation that has refused to embrace justice. We often twist the truth in order to strengthen a lie. EFCC is a political weapon of those in authority to intimidate perceived enemies, be it real or imagined political enemies. And the last one here says, I am so ashamed of this country. Ewo, Almighty Magu, feeling like the Lord of the Rings, how the mighty has fallen. Immediately his Oga at the top died. His nyash open for Niger to see. COVID-19, na bastard. One of my uncles said, and I quote, the new person must remember that months ago, Magu and his boys could stop any important personality in traffic and make him change his route to honor an investigation or arrest. Inaiku are feeling funky. Now, how far? It's only God that will save Nigeria. I strongly believe the new man will falter. No be Nigeria again. That is just it. And another one says, that office is no child's play. When you are appointed, there are people you dare not touch, even with corruption hanging on their necks. Take Tr0uble Bullion Van Bwahaha, for example. But I can bet that no one in Nigeria, irrespective of region, can get there without leaving lash on the looted fund recovered through process. Blackmailing for personal gain is another thing. Wow. So many things Nigerians are saying. But we'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you have to say about these issues?